Carlo Rubbia, who is a Nobel Prize winning physicist, has this theory as to why we have such a strong reaction to color. And this is a theory called resonance theory. And basically what he says is that our bodies are made of 1 billion parts light to 1 part matter. And because of that, our bodies actually have a natural frequency. And so when we're exposed to certain wavelengths of light and certain colors, our body is almost wanting to be tuned to that specific color. So if we walk into a red room and it's vibrating at a certain frequency, our body kind of tunes itself to that. And because of that, this elicits certain emotional responses and certain psychological and physiological responses to each of us. So I want to take a look at these two images and kind of walk through them and what kind of emotional responses they elicit. So the first one is this little boy, and he's sitting on a ladder in very still waters. There's a mountain range and a moon. And to me, I see this as representing kind of this sense of peace and calm. The water is very still. It's solitude, but it's by no means a sad image in my eyes. Conversely, now we have this image of this woman who is in this enclosed mirrored room. And in contrast to her little boy who's in this wide open space and it feels really open, these mirrors are almost making it feel a little claustrophobic where she is. And she also has this really intense expression on her face, which is something that's a little detached. It's less welcoming than our little boy. So you can see that even though these images have almost identical color palettes and it's just an overwhelming wash of blue in both images, how we're going to relate to that and how we're going to perceive that and translate that in our own heads is going to be extremely different. Regardless of your intention with color, if you have color in an image, it is going to elicit a certain emotional response from someone. So you've got to be careful with it and you've got to be deliberate. And so how do we do this and how do we start observing color and learning how to apply it? And for me personally, I think the biggest way that I really started to understand the application and the power of color from an emotional perspective was watching movies. There was this great book by Patti Bellantoni, and it's basically a comprehensive look at cinematography and how color is used in cinematography to express certain emotions. Patti says something in her book that really resonates with me, and I want to share it with you guys. And she says, you have to relinquish control of your thinking self and give it over to what you're seeing. You already possess the information you need in choosing a color. It's simply stored in your own perceptual depository. Once you train yourself to really see, your intellect will be back to weave its own brand of magic. So in other words, train your eye, start to recognize color in your environment, and eventually these will work your way into your own works and it'll become second nature and you'll get some really beautiful, meaningful color in your own work. Being the color of sunlight, yellow is most commonly associated with warmth. A room painted yellow feels warmer than a room painted white. As the color of light, yellow is often associated with knowledge and wisdom, as the English word brilliant means intelligence. Yellow is the most visible color from a distance, so it is often used for objects that need to grab attention. Yellow is the color of madness, overstimulating and overwhelming in large quantities. Van Gogh's palette became increasingly more yellow towards the end of his life as his mental state deteriorated.